Welcome back. We are underway. The first pick is coming up. The Jacksonville Jaguars will be on the clock in a matter of moments with their new head coach, former Buckeyes coach Urban Meyer. And it's quite surprised me when Jacksonville hired him. And I didn't think he was going to want to get back into coaching after his health issues last year.
It's a boom or bust situation.
Yeah,
Look, I mean, he's one of the best college coaches of all time. We'll see how he handles the NFL.
We'll see how he does.
You just don't know.
And, last year, Jacksonville, they lost Gardner Minshew the second midway through the season because he had injuries, and I think they're going to be taking a quarterback with that first pick.
Oh, that's a done deal, Scott.
Yes.
If they don't take Trevor Lawrence, number one,
I think that's who they need to take.
I'm going to run around the neighborhood and scream something.
Yeah, you're right.
No, it's not going to happen.
Nah.
That's a done deal.
You're right. Now, back to in one of the other rounds, the Browns will want to take a wide receiver to help them, as I said, to rebuild the defense, or they could take a wide receiver with the 26th pick overall versus a linebacker in the first round. But I think it's going to be a linebacker. But here are three wide receivers for the Browns to consider at number 26 or in the other rounds. Now, coming in at number 3 is Rondale Moore of Purdue. Rondale Moore is easily one of the most talented wide receivers in the upcoming draft. He has some serious questions. Not only is he on the smaller size at 5'9" and 175 pounds, but he's also had some durability concerns. It's unfortunate because he was healthy for his entire career, and 3 inches taller, Moore would be a top 15 pick. Of course, neither of those things can suddenly become true, but that doesn't mean Moore should be completely disconnected at 26. Now, Moore is a smooth route runner and can even be a weapon in the backfield.
Game.
Yeah, in the return game. And we saw in 2020, head coach Kevin Stefanski has no issues using his wideouts in various ways. On top of that, yeah, it's very true. On top of that, Moore can execute on special teams as well. So he is a player who can break a game open, which this offense needs. But they would really have to feel comfortable with taking a bit of a risk with Barry being a relatively new GM, and it's unknown how he feels about gambling with a pick.
With a red flag.
With a red flag in the late 20s. Now, the second one, that was the third.
Is this the guy from LSU? Terrence Marshall?
Yeah, LSU, Terrence Marshall.
Yeah, he could be a dark horse.
Yeah, Terrence Marshall Jr. of LSU. Now, out of all the wide receivers in this class, the one that seems the most likely to be available at number 26, while being a perfect fit, is Terrence Marshall Jr. And it would also feel like being a perfect fit at number 26, and Terrence Marshall Jr. would also feel like the right fit since he played at LSU, which is where both Odell Beckham Jr. and Jarvis Landry came out of. In fact, the Browns are stacked with LSU players outside of their top receivers. They also have Grady Williams, Grant Delpit, and Jacob Phillips on that roster, who are expected to have major roles on the roster this upcoming season.
You got it.
Yes, indeed. Now, with all that being said, it makes sense to think...
Can I guess who your number one is?
...that Marshall, we'll get to that in just a sec, could be the next member of LSU North. Now, what makes him an ideal fit for the Browns is that he gives them something they don't have, elite size. At 6'3", 200 pounds, Marshall is a much bigger target than both Landry and OBJ, who are both under 6 foot, and he's also no slouch when it comes to getting deep, and he proved he can handle the load in 2020 when he averaged more than 100 yards in all 7 games.
Wow.
And Marshall has very few holes in his game, and he can run just about any road, wins the contested passes and can move to the slot as well as playing on the outside. Marshall could prove to be a number one wide receiver down the road while offering the much more versatility in the passing game in 2021. And that very well could be.
This is beautiful, Scott.
Yes, it is. And they're right outside.
Cleveland did an unbelievable job.
Yes, they did, being out right outside
there on the lake.
Rock
There's
and
Joe
Roll Hall of
Thomas,
Fame
and Bernie
Museum.
Kosar and Jarvis Landry.
Yes.
That's great to see. They did a heck
Former
of a
Browns
job.
quarterback Bernie Kosar. The great number 19 who we had back in the days. Now,
Wow, look at that.
yeah,
That would've been fun
boy,
to be
look
down
at
there.
that crowd. Now,
Let me guess Can I guess your
yeah,
number one?
Go for it.
Bateman.
Yes, it is. That's who the number 1 was. Rashad Bateman, Minnesota. This one might not happen simply because Rashad Bateman should be gone before pick number 26 at top 20, a top 20 talent. Bateman is predicted to go much earlier than Cleveland when Cleveland is on the clock. We have seen in recent seasons that anything is possible, especially when it comes to wide receivers. For
Screaming
example,
Bernie.
yeah, yeah. For example, no one thought that CeeDee Lamb was going to slide down to number 17, and when he did, the Dallas Cowboys pounced on the opportunity to draft him. There was also the recent slide of DK Metcalf, who was with the Seattle Seahawks, who looked to be a first rounder, but lasted until pick number 64 in 2019, when the Seattle Seahawks took him and have looked brilliant for that move. Of course, Bateman isn't getting out of the first round, and if he does somehow slide to number 26, there's no doubt the Browns should stop his fall. Now, there is no player who would improve the Cleveland offense more than Bateman, as he is a perfect fit in Stefanski's system. He is a player who does the little things as well, which is important in Cleveland. But he still can break a game open with his ability to win deep. Now, armed with a complete route tree and the ability to win contested passes, Bateman is a player who can not only beat the zone coverage, but it is also hard to stick within man coverage as well. Now, Bateman, he possibly could go out early in this round, but if he could last till 26, the Browns could take him. You never know.
I'd be shocked if he were there at 26. Now,
Yeah, I would too.
They could trade up. I think it's unpopular for the
Yeah,
Browns picking
yeah.
a wide receiver, but I think there's a really good chance they're going to surprise us to take a wide receiver.
I think there is too.
Because Barry said something interesting in his press conference. He
Yes,
said,
he did.
We're not worried. We're not drafting so much for today, but
Yeah,
for tomorrow.
Because we have a
Landry and
quarterback.
Beckham.
And we are officially underway. The Jacksonville Jaguars are officially on the clock. They have the first pick with their new head coach, Urban Meyer. So we will look to see. We know it's going to be a quarterback, but which one? We'll look to see as it will come up, hopefully.
Scott, I will bet my 2
moments.
boys upstairs it'll be Trevor Lawrence.
I think, and that very well could be, but
I just hope they don't take the whole 10 minutes. Come
Yeah.
on. It's going to be a long night. Just pick.
yes, it is. But while we're waiting, here are 3 linebackers that Cleveland could consider taking in round 1 of the 2021 NFL Draft. The Browns have been very active early and often in free agency with the first edition of Jadeveon Clowney. Unfortunately, with that addition, the team had to decide to part ways, as I mentioned, with Sheldon Richardson. But the holes on defense continue to become fewer and fewer.
Yeah.
And General Manager Andrew Berry made it his main priority to improve this defense, as there are zero arguments that he has done that on all 3 levels, because the Browns are looking to go a lot further than what they did last year and possibly make a Super Bowl run. Now, in the secondary, he added John Johnson, safety, and the third, and he came from the Rams, and Troy Hill, cornerback, both of who will be instant impact players for the team. And at linebacker, he brought in Anthony Walker.
From Indianapolis.
From Indianapolis, yes. And although Walker wasn't a top prospect, he is the perfect fit for this defense and has proven he can provide huge production numbers. Now, the biggest upgrade he made on defense was the line at defensive end, and he added Clowney and Todd McKinley as well.
Yeah, that's going to be...
From Arizona, I believe it was Todd. Now, both have been starters in the league and will form a deadly rotation with Myles Garrett after the release of Richardson. As I mentioned, the addition of Malik Jackson is also that much more important for the defense in 2021. We're still waiting for the Jacksonville's pick to come in. Now, with all these strong additions, the million-dollar question now becomes what the Browns will do in the 2021 draft. They could go on the conservative route and draft a cornerback with uncertainty with Greedy Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this may be a safe play, but that's hard to say right now if that's going to happen.
There's not one glaring hole with the Browns.
No, there
isn't.
Something
You're
right.
We're not accustomed to. They're in a position to take the best player
and
available.
They are.
But we'll see. I mean, they're keeping us guessing.
Yes, they are.
I kind of want another corner, the way everything's played now. But
I'd like another corner too. I agree with that.
Oh, can you imagine if they pick someone else other than Lawrence? If they took like Justin Fields one or something like that, that would.
Yeah.
I don't really think the draft is gonna like begin until the 3rd pick when San Francisco
I think you're
picks.
right. Yeah, because
That's
they traded up with Miami for that. We'll get to that shortly. But another passive move Barry could make is going wide receiver in round 1. Now the writing is on the wall that Odell Beckham Jr. and Jarvis Landry are luxuries that won't be around forever, and this would just show he is preparing for the future. But I think the Browns would be crazy to trade OBJ right now, because I think we're going to get him back for the upcoming season. And he did have some good plays before his injury, so.
I just don't think he's got. I don't think the value's there to trade. You might as well bring him back and see.
Yeah, you're right.
But they're gonna have to drive. With Jarvis, and they're making a lot of money.
Exactly.
You're gonna have to get another. You're gonna have to get a receiver.
Yeah. Now the most aggressive and smartest move, if you ask me, would be solidifying this team and drafting a linebacker in round 1. Now here are 3 that would be worthy, starting with Zavon Collins, linebacker, Tulsa.
Mm-hmm.
The 6'5", 259-pound linebacker out of Tulsa is one of the most interesting prospects in 2021. While while he has the size of a defensive end, he has the athleticism of a linebacker. While he has the best fit, maybe in this interior of a 3-4 defense, there is no reason at all he wouldn't fit in just fine with Browns defensive coordinator Joe Woods. Now, Zaven Collins is a 3-year starter who was consistent every single snap of his career. Collins had a freak frame for a linebacker and still has the athleticism to run in coverage. Now, he has strong awareness and quick eyes, which also make him an effective defender in zone coverage. One thing Collins will have to continue to work on is using his size to his advantage, and at times he plays high and can be moved in holes by offensive linemen. Now, while Collins does have the straight line speed, his size does at times impair his ability to change direction quickly at times. Now, this can get him in trouble on play action and misdirection plays. But some have fears that Collins didn't play at the highest level in college. But from what media has seen, and I can see his...
Why haven't they made the pick yet?
And hopefully they're going to make it shortly. And I can see his games translate well to the next level. And if the Browns go with Collins at 26, Walker and Jacob Phillips would be the primary linebackers with Collins on the field in 3 linebacker sets. No, I don't think.
Now, Hulu's always
A little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Stick is in on
15
mine.
seconds.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, so no. Oh, whoa! I didn't realize I went past time. Uh-oh. All right, I will be back with the first one. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.